Good evening. I'd like to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today to celebrate our accomplishments of 2021 and to share some exciting news about our plan for growth. On March the 15th, 2020, we had to make one of the hardest decisions we've ever made in our organization's history, which was to close the thrift store and the donation center. And that was due to the COVID-19 pandemic. At that time, I really wasn't sure what was going to happen to Souci. The thrift store brings in a large portion of our funding, and I knew without that we would have to furlough most of our employees. And I didn't know how or if we were going to be able to reopen. But looking back, I don't know why I was worried, because I know that we serve the most incredible and supportive community. We have the best, most resilient employees, beyond talented board members, and an incredible community partners. And throughout our entire 43-year history, those groups of supporters have carried Souci through a fire, a flood, and I should have never doubted that you would carry us through a pandemic. Let me tell you, not only did our community carry us through the pandemic, but we thrived in 2021 because of the support that we received. We truly owe all the success to the community, and I am so excited to share that 2021 was a year filled with new experiences and truly a year filled with growth, which is why we have chosen the word growth to represent our theme today. I'd like to take a moment to share some of the ways that Souci grew and how together we grew and strengthened our impact on the community. Operationally, we had our best Facebook post ever, modeled by our very own Barry Sanders lookalike. And did you know that you can get a whole winter outfit for $10 at Souci? To no surprise, our volunteer efforts went up 130% from 2020. We recycled 6 semi-trailers of clothing, purses, and shoes. Both of our pickup trucks started a graphic upgrade. In our no-cost program, which provides necessity items free of charge to those in need, we helped 1,960 community members with items such as clothing, shoes, and winter coats. 198 were able to go into the workforce because they received steel-toed boots from Souci. 4 informational handouts were translated into Spanish to better serve the demographics of community members. 616 brand new pairs of socks, 505 pair of brand new underwear were given to those in need. In our low-cost program, which provides clothing, household items, and other necessities at affordable prices, the store had 54,457 customers shop for low-cost goods. We had 15 discounted or free furniture days. Over 82,600 articles of clothing were sold at a low price. 2 store-wide free days. In our employee development program, a program that hires those with employment barriers and works with each individual to bring them from crisis to stability, 332 hours were spent by employees working on barrier removal. 7 mental health referrals. 18 employees opened up bank accounts. 38 employees participated in our employee development program. Souci had a lot of firsts in 2021. We expanded our fundraising efforts to host our first VIP shopping event. We learned how to receive proceeds from shares as a financial donation. Our first promotional video was filmed. Souci can now be selected as a recipient for Amazon Smile or Kroger Rewards. So, If you have not already chosen an organization, this is our plug to ask you to choose Souci. And if you don't know how, I'm sure Courtney would love to show you after the meeting. It's real simple, she says. We had many new or strengthened partnerships, such as we were selected as the 2022 Family Chiropractic and Wellness Philanthropy of the Year. Continue to be a team player in our community by increasing collaboration among other agencies, by taking employment referrals, attending community agency meetings, and much more. Received our first-time donation of eco-friendly shampoos and conditioners that went to our no-cost program from Highbar. Applied for and was selected to receive a large donation of Bombas socks to go to our community members in need. I look back on these achievements that we have accomplished together, and it is easy to think of them as just a number, but it's more than that. Each number represents a real person living in our community who didn't have to worry about clothing or if they would have the right shoes to go to work. These numbers represent individuals who were able to stretch their household income by finding affordable priced goods at our store, which is becoming increasingly important. They represent one of our employees who didn't have to worry about housing or if they were going to have enough food. It represents an employee getting their license reinstated so they wouldn't have to worry about how they're going to get to work. Souci, as many of us know, means without worry. This is what we focus on every day, to help others live life without worry. As I conclude, I want to share my personal reflection of growth during my time at Souci. I've had the privilege to serve as the executive director for 14 years, but my story began with Souci 27 years ago as a cashier. Times change, don't they? I was a busy mother of 3, later a mom of 4, and was looking for somewhere that would provide me with some flexibility in my schedule. Quickly after I started working at Souci, I realized how passionate that I was about helping people, and eventually started working my way up to be the truck driver, the store manager, the operations supervisor, and eventually the executive director. I never once thought that I could be the executive director of Souci when I was first hired. But along the way, I have been fortunate to have many people in my life who believed in me and supported my growth. Because of these individuals, I am a success story of Souci. It is my honor that I get to wake up each day and serve an outstanding organization that helps others grow. I always had a great vision for Souci, and a mentor once told me that if you want to be great, you must surround yourself with great people. Today, I am seeing my vision come to reality, thanks to the strong support of the community, my leadership team, the employees, and the board of directors. So, if you are an employee, thank you for running the operations. To my leadership staff, thank you for managing the organization. To my board of directors, thank you for your guidance. To our volunteers, shoppers, donors, funders, and community partners, thank you for supporting our programs. You have made this possible, and the sky is the limit, thanks to you. Souci wouldn't be as strong as it is today without some of the people in this very room. One of those people is Jen Hartwell, who has been a faithful and steadfast board president. Along with 3 other members of the executive committee, Jen signed on to a second term due to the pandemic. It is because of leadership from community members like Jen that we have this opportunity to celebrate today. As Jen will now be stepping down as the board presidency, I couldn't be more thankful for her and the impact that she has had on the community and on me personally. So at this time, I invite Jen Hartwell to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jen Hartwell. I'm actually a pediatrician at Columbus Pediatrics, and I joined the board 9 years ago, something like that. So I was asked to talk today and kind of reflect on my last 4 years as a leader on the board of directors. Initially, I was thinking, how am I going to sum this up? What can I say? So I recall my first year as president when I spoke at the meeting before the pandemic, and I talked about how working with Souci and the people at Souci really helped me become a better doctor for my patients and my patients' families. Souci helped me grow as both an individual and as a professional. Working with Souci and Cheryl's team gave me the compassion that I really needed to help those most in need. Now I think about the last 2 years and how being a doctor really helped me be a good leader for Souci. Navigating our way through the pandemic was no small feat. Trying to sort out the best approach to move forward as an organization during those first 6 months was difficult, especially because little was known about the virus at the start. The ever-changing recommendations on how best to protect ourselves and others around us were often confusing. We were just on the brink of starting our path towards growth when the pandemic started. Although our growth did change slightly, we were able to grow in ways that we never imagined that we needed to. I am proud to have been able to serve Souci during this health crisis. Some might say I was the Dr. Fauci of Souci. I remember many texts from Cheryl as the recommendations were changing on almost a daily basis. What do I send this person home? Does this person have to wear a mask? For how long? And so it was actually very interesting, and I was very happy that I could help out. So as you heard from Cheryl, growth is something we've experienced at Souci over the past several years. Most of this came naturally as the community continued to provide incredible support through donations and volunteer efforts. As we experienced this growth, it became apparent that we needed to think about how we would continue to support this much needed growth. We needed an approach on how to foster and direct our growth. So in the second quarter of 2021, the board took a deep dive into our ideas and thoughts for the future of the organization. We started the work of developing the foundation of a new strategic plan for Souci. The plan is intended to serve as a roadmap for our direction over the next 3 to 5 years. As many of you may know, it's very easy to get caught up in the daily grind of operations and managing the organization during unique challenges. We knew it was important, however, to take a critical look at who we are today and decide who we want to be in the future. Then came the difficult task of determining how to go about this. The board, along with Cheryl's leadership team, have spent many hours tackling this body of work. We've made some great progress, and I'm excited to share with you the highlights of our 3-year strategic plan. This plan includes our key focus areas and initiatives. We're experiencing growth each day, and we're very excited to see how far we can take Souci forward. As we thought about our future growth, we identified 4 areas of focus: leadership, facility, finance, and programming. I want to share a little bit more about each of these initiatives with you in the next slides. Today, we are a strong and thriving organization thanks to all of those who have and those who continue to contribute their time and skills. Over the next few years, we will increase our focus on professional development to further enhance the skills of the leadership team at Souci. Cheryl, along with the management team, will be given opportunities to shape their development through coaching and training. Although we currently have a very hands-on, skilled group of board members, we strive to improve the effectiveness of our board through continued recruitment and consistent engagement. We want to expand our reach in the community, explore ways to best identify individual contributors, and take advantage of more non-board member skills to complement the work being done by the board and the leadership team today. I know that many of you have been to our store on 13th Street, whether you've been by to drop off donations, shop in the store, or come to a meeting. You know our space is tight. Each year, we currently need to rent storage spaces for overflow of donations. We sometimes have to conduct meetings off-site, and we're sometimes limited to what we can put out in the store on the store floor. Although we've learned to be creative about organizing our office and programming spaces, we know that as we grow, our programs can't be as effective if we're to moving members of the community into self-sufficiency if we don't have the right space to work in. We have started the process of evaluating our physical space and our needs to tell us what that physical space might look like. Over the next couple of years, we'll be putting together a plan to find the right physical space to accommodate our needs and allow for continued growth to serve our community. While the third area of focus might seem like an obvious one, it's something that we'd really like to become more intentional about in the future. Unlike many of the other social service agencies, we rely heavily on our thrift store sales for the revenue needed to support our programs. The year-over-year growth of store sales has been amazing, but as you know, crises can come, such as a pandemic or other economic factors, that can greatly impact our ability to receive donations and manage our store. We've decided to take a more intentional look at our funding needs and sources in order to develop an additional sustainable avenue for fundraising. We aim to expand our current revenue streams, which means we'll need to work on defining and attaining the resources needed to continue to fund our programming. Our fourth area of focus within our strategic plan is our programming. Cheryl spoke about our 3 successful programs for our community: no cost, low cost, and employee development. Currently, the goal of our employee development program is to help our employees move from crisis to stability. I've heard many of our employees comment that their employment at Souci is so much more than a job. They're excited to have the opportunity to participate in our programming that allows them to move towards their path to self-sufficiency. Over the next 3 years, our goal is to evaluate the employee development program in a number of ways. We're going to evaluate our current program to help us better understand our employees' needs and then implement ways to best serve those needs. We will explore tools and resources to help the program remain flexible as it grows. This will include strengthening existing community and agency interactions, as well as building new relationships with other agencies. We are thrilled to start our work to expand the employee development program. To tell you more about that, I want to invite Jody Eakin to the podium.
Good evening. Thank you, Jen, for the introduction. As Jen said, my name is Jody Eakin, and I've had the privilege of working for Souci the last 2 years as the program coordinator. I work alongside each employee and help them remove barriers, grow, guide them on a path to stability. I love what I do at Souci. And Souci has had a personal effect on me also. In 2015, I found myself as a single mom with 3 children in a city 200 miles away from my closest family. After being a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, I quickly found myself needing to return to the workforce. Childcare was challenging. It was a challenging barrier because we all know how much childcare is for 3 children. And then I also have a child on the autism spectrum, so that created some unique challenges for me. I needed a job with flexibility and understanding, and when I needed to drop off and pick up my kids, that would be acceptable. After a few different jobs, I found myself at Souci in 2019, and they have provided me with exactly what I needed to be a working mom. And as a single mom, I'm on a very tight budget, and Souci has helped me personally with just a variety of things. They helped me move when I was moving to another house. They allowed me to buy purchase some furniture at a low cost. The list goes on what Souci has helped me with personally. So as I continue to grow at Souci, I love that I get to walk beside each employee to encourage them, to support them through their own growth. And truly, all of Souci's programs are designed to help people grow. Whether that is through our no-cost program, through our low-cost program, or through our most impactful employee development. The Employee Development Program at Souci helps employees who have struggled in the past to retain or obtain employment due to barriers such as homelessness, unreliable transportation, childcare, those who have struggled with substance abuse or substance use disorder, past incarceration, or those with physical and mental disabilities. Souci has been successful in helping employees go from crisis to stability and diligently working with each employee to remove barriers. But in the recent years, we started to ask the question, how can we prepare employees for a life outside of Souci? In 2018, we met a group from Cummins who offered to help analyze the effectiveness of our programs. This team spent hours brainstorming, researching, and conducting surveys with our staff and the community. Their research showed the employee development program's potential and encouraged us to focus on growing this program. Soon after, Souci formed an employee development committee. That consists of community members, Souci board members, and staff. Today, I am excited to announce that after all the research, time, energy, and effort we have spent over the last 4 years, Souci is expanding our employee development program to move employees beyond stability and into self-sufficiency. This expansion is called Souci Build You. So Souci Build You is an opportunity for our employees who have reached and maintained stability and now are ready to begin construction on their future. Through this program, we will help our employees grow, help them break that generational cycle of poverty. This expansion will be for select employees who have completed the first phase of the employee development program and have built a strong foundation. On top of their strong foundation, these employees will now begin building their professional and personal skills by attending a series of workshops tailored to their specific needs. Just like building a house, you have to start with a foundation. Each Souci Build You workshops are like adding walls. Workshops last around 6 weeks, and the courses are selected based on the skills needed by each employee. But the workshops will teach our employees in areas of personal development, communications, computer literacy, career exploration, finance, and lastly, an externship, an opportunity to try out a position with a partner employer. When an employee completes Souci Build You, they will finish with a strong foundation, walls, a roof over their head, and to take on new adventures. The workshops will be led by experienced volunteer community members that are passionate about teaching our employees. Throughout the entirety of an employee going through the workshops and the externship, each employee will continue to be paid their hourly wage by Souci, so they can focus on building themselves. The externship is called RAMP, Real World Application and Mentorship Program. It will provide them with real life practical experience in a field that they are interested in. RAMP, in combination with their skills from the workshops, will give them the confidence they need to believe in themselves and better their lives. I want to give a special thank you to the builders, those who built Souci, who made this possible. Thank you to Arturo Mijangos, Dave Jamerson, Coach Rick Weinheimer, Stephanie Shepard, Lindsay Kendrick, James Boldman, and many, many other community members who provided guidance. We believe in this program and invite you to learn more at Souci. Build You Kickoff taking place on July 21st, 9 at Souci. This is going to be just a fun event as we celebrate the official launch of the program and expansion, and we'll dig deeper into what each participant will learn while going through Souci Build You. At this time, I would like to introduce Shannon George. She is one of our amazing employees who work incredibly hard to be where she is today. I won't share any more details. I want you to hear it from Shannon.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you all for being here today. As Jody said, my name is Shannon George. I have been an employee at Souci since September of 2020. In 2020, I found myself at rock bottom. I was homeless, unemployed, and had no transportation, no bank account, struggling with food security, and desperately wanted to become sober from alcohol. When I hit rock bottom, I was a patient of VimCare, and they referred me to Task, a local treatment and support center. I ended up going to inpatient recovery. However, when the program ended, I didn't have anywhere to go, so I went to the Brighter Days homeless shelter, where I stayed for several weeks. While I was staying at the shelter, a Brighter Days staff member told me about Souci, and they told me how they could help me with clothing assistance and I should apply for a job there. So I did that. A couple weeks later, I was hired on, and things really started to change quickly after that. My first impression of Souci was that it seemed like a good place. Within a week, I knew it was a great place. Right away, I started working with Jody, and she began to help me with some immediate needs. She first started working with me on finding a place that would accept my rapid rehousing voucher. A couple of weeks later, a house had opened up, and I was able to move out of the shelter. Since I didn't have anything for the house, Souci helped me with all my household items like linens, towels, dishes, and futon. I was able to save money from my paycheck and use my Souci packs, which is an employee benefit, to purchase my own furniture from Souci. I really appreciate that I was able to buy my own furniture because that gave me a sense of pride, and it felt good that I was able to do that on my own. Once my housing situation was stable, I went to Love Chapel and they helped me fill my fridge and pantry. As I continued to work at Souci, it was important for me to stay committed to my recovery. Because I didn't have a vehicle, it was difficult for me to attend the community recovery meetings. But Souci did give me flexibility in my work schedule to attend the task meetings that took place during the day. As I started to get closer to my coworkers, they encouraged me to attend Celebrate Recovery meetings. I wasn't sure about going to those because I didn't have a ride and I was nervous to attend. Jody offered to take me to the meeting, so I went, and I've been attending ever since. In addition to Celebrate Recovery meeting, Souci worked with ISAP to start a recovery meeting once a month that is just for Souci employees. This has been really great and easy for me to attend because ASAP is right across the street from Souci, and the meeting takes place in the morning just before work hours. Flash forward to the present. I am still working full-time, got settled in my house, and I started taking advantage of the other opportunities that Souci offers to employees, such as attending empowerment training from Coach Rick, going through the Making the Right Money Moves program from Central Credit Union, where I learned about finances and budgeting. Jody helped me open a checking and savings account at Centra and helped me work on creating a budget and how to fill it. This really helped me stabilize my finances, and I started putting money into my savings account. One barrier that I still had was my transportation. I relied on others to take me to and from work and meetings, which could be inconsistent at times. So when a 2008 minivan was donated, Souci asked me if I would be interested in it. The car was still in good shape, so Souci offered to sell it to me at a very affordable price. Because I had been able to budget and put money into my savings, I was able to purchase the vehicle. Souci helped me with getting inspection done by contacting Johnny's Muffler Shop, who did the inspection for free. I also got new tires at a discounted rate from Johnson's Tire Shop. With the inspection and new tires, the car was as good as new, and it's really been a great fit for me. Being at Souci has generally been some of the best years of my life. Prior to coming to Souci, I had a lot of barriers that prohibited me from being successful. I am a domestic violence survivor. I have been homeless, unemployed, someone who battles addiction, which had resulted in basic needs not being met. But now I look at myself, and I am proud of the person that I am today. It's not been an easy journey, but today I am someone that has held full-time employment for nearly 2 years, has stable housing and food source, reliable vehicle, has checking and savings account with money in them, someone who has made several positive health accomplishments, such as attending the smoking cessation course that was offered at Souci through Healthy Communities, a program through CRH, where they educated me on health impact of smoking and providing me with tools I need to significantly cut back on smoking, and I have plans to fully quit. I became CPR certified through a class that Souci offered. Additionally, I have made strong and healthy friendships through my co-workers, with one of them co-workers becoming my recovery sponsor. I've been promoted to head of receiving at Souci and trained incoming employees. I encourage other Souci employees in recovery to attend meetings, even if I have to drive them there. And the biggest personal achievement is I have been sober 1 year and 10 months. I I want to thank everyone that has played a part in my growth, and honestly, there have been so many that I may have missed a couple. What I want people to know about Souci is that they are committed to their employees and our personal growth. They help the community and others in countless ways and see the best in everyone. I want everyone to know that Souci is a safe place and they will help you with anything. I came to Souci hoping for a job, but I gained that and so much more. Thank you, Souci, and thank you to those who have helped me grow along the way. I am grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you.
We all know how hard it is to get up here and speak for Jody, myself, and especially Shannon. So I'd like to give her another round of applause for. As you can see, it truly takes an entire community to help us grow and to accomplish our mission of helping others live life without worry. Before we conclude today's meeting, I want to mention again how much we would love to see all of you at our Souci Build You kickoff event taking place July the 21st at Souci. This is going to be a great event where we can celebrate the launch of this new expansion and go into more detail of what the participants will learn by going through the program. On behalf of the entire staff and board of Souci, I want to thank you again for your support of our organization and for helping Souci grow. Thank you.